All right, so we are here today. It's kind of a story review, but it's also just me talking about power scaling in comics and me as a reformed Superman hater who's still got some hate left in him. Just being disappointed once again when I thought we had the absolute drop on that boy's Superman. I was about to do Superman versus Thor. I had it all scripted out. Modern day battle is going to be epic. And then things change once again. Superman does some more bullshit where I have to recalibrate the battle and figure out what the hell is going on. He just broke scaling again. Let's get into this. And before we keep going, if you love my comic book reviews, me keeping you guys up to date on current events or my content in general, consider subscribing. Also, smash the like button. Let's get 300 plus likes and I will keep the comic reviews pumping out. On top of this, if you want to support the channel directly or support your boy, hit the Cash App, or you could hit me up on Discord to talk sponsoring videos, as well as getting access to some of my high-level scaling servers, where, for instance, I have a Doctor Doom server with every single Doctor Doom appearance and feat ever happen in Marvel Comics. Stuff like that, definitely worth looking into. Hit me up if you want to talk business and see your favorite content on the channel. But without further ado, let's get into this moment with Superman. Now, this hails from Action Comics 1061. If you guys did not know, we have an author switch. Shout out my dog, Philip Kennedy Johnson. Go check out all his stories. Support the authors that come on my channel and go buy their comics in person. This is a big switch off because he killed it with Superman. And he passed the torch to Jason Aaron for now. Jason Aaron will be working on Action Comics Superman content. He came out with a wild fucking story. So this starts out with Bizarro. Bizarro finds himself in a realm that I don't think we've ever seen before. Maybe we have at some obscure point, but I don't recall it. If I'm wrong, get in the comments and I'll like pin your comment or whatever. But this is supposed to be what is rumored to be the world that first ever bore magic in the DC multiverse. Like, creation never experienced magic before this place. The strongest, most intelligent magic users exist here. They don't really interact with anything else. They chill here, smoke weed. I don't know what they're doing. They're lit, right? And Bizarro pulls up. Bizarro can sense this place and pulled up. And he starts absorbing the magic in this realm. Now, this is pretty crazy, but it also is supposed to tie into the lore of Bizarro, which we're going to get into in a second. The leaders are looking at this and they're like, hey, we see Bizarro, but he's a bit of a knucklehead. Like, we don't think he's very fucking smart. So we're not worried about him, right? Well, they should have fucking been worried. Because Bizarro starts cooking all the defenses there and is absorbing magic and seems to get a little more lucid with his ideas and his missions and his goal. So they are like, all right, it's a Bizarro. It's not Superman. Fuck them. We're going to pull up on Brain Dead Superman. We're going to put the work in. The leaders pull up and Bizarro eats the magic they are throwing at him. Keep in mind, they're saying this is the strongest magic that exists in DC. These are the strongest possible spells and curses that you could produce. And they are throwing it all at Bizarro, and he doesn't give a fuck. He's like, hey, thanks for amping me, big dog. And he kills everybody there. He absolutely eviscerates this area. So this magic place gets cooked. That's when Superman, we kind of switch over. He's alerted to Bizarro incoming. Now, before we get to that part, how was Bizarro able to absorb this? Well, he's the antithesis to Superman. He's the exact opposite. So it's playing upon the idea of, well, if one is vulnerable to magic, one should be able, the antithesis should be able to absorb it or perfectly align with magic. And that's what was shown. Bizarro absorbed all the strongest magic in DC. Now he's on the hunt for Superman. So Superman's alerted and he's like, what the fuck's Bizarro doing? I'm gonna go see what's up. Bizarro backhands him. Sends him to Venus, I think. It's one of the planets that's far away. He was like, what the fuck? Bizarro never... First of all, hilarious reaction from Superman. He just got hit by a being that's absorbed the strongest magic in DC and said, yo, when did Bizarro start doing steroids? He was like, Bizarro's never hit me that hard. And Bizarro blitzes and starts putting hands on him again. And Superman doesn't know what's going on. He's like, yo, I don't know what drugs you're on. I don't know why you're tripping this bad, Bizarro. Last time I checked, I thought we were pretty cool. Like, I didn't know there was beef. What the hell's going on? And Bizarro's still kind of talking in his Bizarro way, and he's not making much sense to Superman. And at this point, Bizarro's bringing forth the strongest magical items across the multiverse. He brought forth a fifth dimensional imp's tongue, like a bunch of crazy shit. Like, obviously, super powered arcane artifacts are being used. So he eventually uses Zatanna's backwards magic to make himself more audible or clear to Superman. And he's basically telling him, look, I'm not dumb. I've absorbed all the magic. I'm putting in work. I'm going to kill your ass. Superman doesn't get the hate. He doesn't get why Bizarro's tripping like this. And it's pretty crazy. And this is what I talk about. He broke scaling. Another fucking Superman moment. They're talking about, oh, this is a bad look for Clark because he's vulnerable to magic. And he's fighting someone with the strongest magic possible. And they go, yeah. But compared to the will of Superman, that's irrelevant. Like, Superman's not going to stop fighting. He's not going to stop pushing through. He will just keep going on because he's Superman. And Bizarro hits him with a bunch of shit and he says, hey, I know you don't fuck with magic. Break out of that. And all you see is Superman's eyes glow. And he puts hands on Bizarro. But at the same time, he's still talking to Bizarro. He's like, dude, I don't want to fuck you up. You're making me put hands on you. I don't want to. I just want to know why you're tripping like this. And towards the end of the story, first of all, he survives all this magic. Like, he's just blatantly surviving the strongest magic Bizarro could throw at him, which is insane. Like, it should not be, especially when it's said in this same story, he's vulnerable to magic, which is obviously a ploy DC has used over the years. But I mean, this is the same fucking Superman that huffed Etrigan magic back in the 90s. Shout out GB for finding the exact comic it came from. But he's been doing this shit, right? And he gets like taken away by this magic black hole that's obviously magical in nature. It's not a real black hole. I don't even know. It was like a weird portal. Superman interacts with it and Bizarro goes through it and seems to disappear. Seems to be gone. But at the end of the story, everyone in the city seems to be taken over by the consciousness of Bizarro. He seems to be controlling them. And this even extends to Superman. Superman also seems to be impacted by the subconscious of Bizarro. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this new scaling for Superman. The man ran through the strongest magic in DC, taking hits from it, taking traps from it, fighting through it, even putting hands on Bizarro. Only real L you can give him is it does seem to have the subconscious merged with him after the supposed defeat of Bizarro. But what do you think of him just pushing through his biggest weakness that's literally scaled to the strongest magic in DC? How do you feel about that? Superman haters, including myself, we're down bad. Superman fans, for the 30,000th time in the last 3 years, you're up again. So fuck it. But guys, let me know what you think of my comic reviews in the comment section down below. If you want to keep seeing them, definitely let me know. I like talking about them, and I like talking about them on the Dr. Goons podcast. Definitely go check that out as well. But yeah, anyways, it's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I will see y'all later. Peace.